Hey guys, the biggest challenge I saw in your practice problems for this module were the sentence diagrams. Not only breaking them down into specific enough components, but as well as drawing them in the computer to demonstrate what you were trying to say. So I'm going to show you two different ways with two new example sentences. So our first way we can do this is what you see when you see the practice problem answers. So what you go to is Insert, SmartArt, and then you go to Hierarchy, and you pick the hierarchy chart. So it sets you up a bit awkward, but you can set it up that way. What I like to do before I even start with the SmartArt is label their parts of speech. So I start here first above the sentence. So we have a determiner, an adjective, a noun, we have our verb, we have our adjective, we have a preposition, determiner, and then we have a noun. So that helps us when we're organizing the different components. If we keep going up, we can keep going. So we know the adjective and the noun make the noun. We know that a determiner and a noun makes a noun phrase. We can go to the next line up. We know that a determiner here in this noun makes a noun phrase. And our preposition in a noun phrase makes a prepositional phrase. And our verb in an adjective makes a verb phrase. And then we can continue combining. So our verb phrase and our prepositional phrase will make a verb phrase. And then lastly, we make a sentence because we're coming from this noun phrase and this verb phrase to make our sentence. So now let's turn that into the SmartArt. So we start right at the top with our sentence, and we know our sentence has the two components. It has the noun phrase, and it has the verb phrase. So then we break that down further. The noun phrase is composed of the noun, which is composed of the adjective, which is purple, and the noun, which is bears. But the noun phrase also had a determiner, which was those. So that sets us up for our noun phrase. As you can see, it's nice and organized. Our sentence comes down to noun phrase, comes down to the determiner plus the noun, and the noun is the adjective plus the noun. That's nice and organized on that side. So now let's do the verb phrase side. Oh, and this bullet is extra, so we can just delete it. So our verb phrase, if we look back up, is made up of a verb phrase and a preposition phrase. So verb phrase, preposition phrase. This level verb phrase right here was made up of our verb and our adjective. So verb, which was were, and adjective, which was happy. So that gives us our verb phrase right here. Then we also have to diagram a prepositional phrase. Our prepositional phrase was made up of our preposition and our noun phrase. We go back up to our preposition because our preposition was at. And then our noun phrase was made up of the determiner, which was the, and noun, which was park. Now we can see it all nice and organized. And it's a little bit tricky to move from up here to here. You almost have to turn it on its side. Now, attached to this email is this diagram right here. So if you want for the questions on your test to just use this diagram and manipulate it to fit what you need, you're able to do that too. Now, another way you can diagram your sentence is to use Microsoft Paint. So we start in Paint, we type out the sentence, and then we're going to do just what we did for the last one. We mark what each part of speech is down at the bottom before we even start diagramming the sentence. So we know they is our noun, stop is our verb, at is our preposition, the is a determiner, house is a noun, and Monday is an adverb. So now we can go up a level. After we draw our little lines. This keeps us nice and organized. So now we go back to our text box. We know they becomes a noun phrase. We can draw our line up to our noun phrase. And then our noun phrase plus this whole area over here, which is a verb phrase. Our noun phrase plus our whole verb phrase over here that we're about to diagram will go up to the top to make our sentence. So we can already draw our line from our noun phrase to our sentence. So now let's combine everything we have over here. So we can see we have a prepositional phrase right here. So we can make our determiner and our noun into a noun phrase. And then we can add our preposition to this noun phrase and make a nice prepositional phrase. So now we have a verb, a prepositional phrase, and an adverb. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine the prepositional phrase and the verb to make a verb phrase. Now, just like we see on our chart in the book on page 226, a verb phrase plus an adjective, plus an adverb will lead us to another verb phrase. So we move it up one more row, and we draw our lines again. So this verb phrase plus this adverb gives us our verb phrase. And then we just finish. Our verb phrase goes to our sentence. So that's another way to diagram the sentence. And then we can copy this right here. We select it. Copy. Go back to our Word document. And we paste it. And that's another way we can draw our sentences. You do have to be specific. You can't just say prepositional phrase and label it over top of at the house. I am allowing you to be a little less specific with the verbs if you'd like on the test. You can just label them as verb and bring it up to the verb phrase. If you don't want to get into transitive, ditransitive, sentential, auxiliary, etc. All right, let me know if you have any further questions on the diagramming.